Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be updating my item guide as to what items you should be buying after the recent Camille changes and the item changes on Trinity Force. I will start off by saying that a lot of what I've already said with the items is the same. There's only some slight changes, but the main reason of this video will be talking about why you take what items. I think understanding when to take what items will help you more understand Camille as a champion and your purpose when playing Camille mid. So with that being said, certain things stay the same. Longsword 3, super OP start. You get so much effective health, having 450 health as opposed to Doran's Blade, which is 200 health less, or more or less, right? The first item you should be buying though, Sheen, yes, is super strong still, but buying Trinity Force first item is no longer an ideal thing. This item sucks first, not because it's necessarily bad, but it's because it feels so lackluster. You get such little AD. The Sheen spell is super nice, yeah. But the components feel really bad, right? You're getting very little AD from this, 15 attack damage. The attack speed is not needed on Camille, especially when you're E-maxing. CDR and health is bleh. You don't really need it. You'd rather get damage. Right? Especially when you're snowballing. You'd rather play for damage. That's the main point of this video. So, rush a Hydra. It's the new thing again. I did this last season before. And then when they changed Tiamat, I thought it was unplayable. But recently, I noticed how bad Try is, especially after the change. It felt pretty good when it has 35 AD, but when they took away the 10 AD, that actually made a big difference. They also have Sunderer, right? Sunderer, it's not a, I'll talk about that later. The main point of this video pretty much is Try, or is Ravenous Hydra first over Try. It gives sustain, super important, into poke matchups like Zed. It gives a high damage. Tiamat gives wave clear, making your roams easier and more effective because you can shove in the wave faster. CDR and AD is nice. When you finish it, you get 20 ability haste, which is really good. Super effective with E. And high damage, lots of sustain, right? Sustain equals more effective health. So I know this makes you quote unquote really squishy, but it really doesn't. Because you can heal back so much poke and so much damage done to you, and you're pretty much getting an extra couple hundred health, right? The longer you're in lane, the more health you're getting on this item. So it's 65 AD, 20 ability haste, Omnivamp, the cleave, and a bunch of health, which is so much better than Triforce, right? Triforce, you can just pick up Sheen and sit on Sheen, right? You can still do what you did last season and go Tiamat Sheen. Get your Tiamat Sheen, and it's even less gold now, which is pretty cool. I know the items are not as effective as they used to be, but they cost less gold. So you can pick up your Sheen early on your first recall. This should be your first rush almost every time. Or you can, if you have 1,200 gold, you can just buy a Tiamat off the first recall. Or if you have 1,000 gold, you can get a pickaxe and refillable, right? You don't have to always get Sheen. Sheen's really nice, don't get me wrong, but you don't always have to buy it. Sometimes you can just buy Ravenous Hydra right away. Or you can get the Tiamat Sheen combo, like I said. This also enables you to buy a bunch of longswords on your first couple of recalls, right? Which is something Camille loves to do. She doesn't want to buy rubies, right? She wants to be able to deal damage. You have to be effective by being able to do damage and win fights. You can one-shot people so easily when you just go all damage. So it will help your snowball super easy, way better than before. You'll be able to snowball so much easier with these items as opposed to Try. So yeah, the main point of this video honestly was just buy Hydra over Try. That's pretty much what sums up this video. But I'll talk about other items. So when to go Sunderer. I have a better understanding of Sunderer now. At the start of the season, I gave the caveat that I don't really know what's best. I haven't tested enough. I gave my theoretical analysis of Sunderer. And it turns out my analysis was pretty much spot on. You buy this item when you have a bunch of tanks on the enemy team, / they have a bunch of effective champions into your champion. They have a Nivea, Newt Uder, champs that can CC you, Galio, right? All in one team. Champs that can disable you, Gragas, if that's their comp, Gragas, Galio, Udyr, and Nivea, then you're not playing the game as Camille, right? You're just an alter. That's all you can do. That's all you are in that game. An alter. So you want to go Sunderer because you get penetration. The Q does more damage into higher health targets. You have only one opportunity to go in, and then you're going to get CC'd. So having as much burst as you can get is ideal. You get the penetration with your Mythic, right? I already said that. But this is way better than Try because you can't get the threefold strike thing out of Triforce when you're just constantly CC'd and knocked around. And you're also squishier because it gives less health. So go for Sunderer in a game like that. But in most other games, Triforce is better because Camille can stick onto most champions really well and get a lot of the threefold strike. The attack speed is also important. I know I said attack speed is not useful. That's only early game. The later the game goes, more attack speed is better. Because like if you get Sunderer, you feel like you're lagging with how little attack speed you get, right? It's very, like, I personally hate going Sunderer. No matter, even if it's optimal, I just dislike the item because you just have no attack speed. So the other item, right, there's still, you still got your, your Ma, you still got, like, a lot of what I'm saying is, I don't want to go over everything that I've already said, just for the sake of keeping the video short and not, you can go this, you can go this, right? The main other item that I think is not getting as much attention as it should is Gargoyle. Gargoyle is so OP on so many different champions, right? You got your Sterex as well, right? Like I'm not reinventing the wheel here, right? It's you're doing the same things as you did before. I don't know why this is sticks. Okay, so I was looking at items that weren't showing. Sterex, right? You got your Sterex. You got your your Camille items that you always go, right? That you've always been able to go. This if they have a lot of healing, right? Nothing's really new here. But Gargoyles, right? Let's talk about Garg. So this item, right? It's pretty much like Sterex, right? Where this item is the best item to go when there's a lot of split damage. Because you're getting 60 armor, 60 MR, right? Super effective. That's already really strong, right? 60 armor, 60 MR. If they have 2 APs, 2 ADs, they have threats in both fields. This item's perfect. You get a shit ton of armor, right? You get the fortify thing. The most important thing, though, is the shield that you're getting. The shield is so huge. Paired with Sterex, it lets you tank for so much longer. Because you get 2 massive shields. Sterex shield is already massive enough. On top of that with Gargoyle, right? Huge fucking shield. Great team fighting item. Great item in most situations. It's almost like you're getting a second Sterex. That's how it feels. You're getting 2 Sterex shields. That's how broken this shield is. And I've been doing it. I've been running this item on Fiora, Camille, Riven, right? Any champ can run this. Poppy. Any champ, tanks, anything that wants to be a bruiser can pretty much run this item. It's very effective. It's very strong. I think it's just underused right now. It's underused. It's appreciated. Now you should not be getting this second item, right? This is not a second item. This is like a third, fourth, fifth item, right? GA is still really effective. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm just making it. I'm trying to point out that when you're in a game where you cannot live for more than 2 seconds because they have so much burst, this is the item to go to. You can get Sunderer, Sterex, and then Gargoyle. And you'll be way more effective in fights. Because you can R someone and you won't just die right away. And the problem with GA is that after you revive, you're just still one shot and the cooldown is so long. So you can go like try Sterex Garg or try Sterex. Like try Sterex, right? Or after, I'm sorry, this should be like a fourth, fifth item, not a third item. Because you should still be going, right, your Ravenous, Sterex, and Triforce, right? That's still your core build. Rav, but the Rav should be built first, and then the Triforce, and then the Sterex. Or sometimes you could even go Ravenous Sterex, right, if you really need that HP. Or try Rav, right? It's all like, it's still interchangeable. Those items are still interchangeable. There will be games where you still go Triforce first. You shouldn't always be going Ravenous Hydra. Sometimes Triforce or Sunderer will be more effective if you need the health more than the lifesteal and sustain. Maybe you can't get maybe you can't get anything out of this because they have too much poke or whatever, right? Like against Azir, it'd be really hard to go this because you just get one shot by him. So maybe Sunderer would make more sense into Azir. So, but anyways, right? You're still going right. It's still gonna look like try then your Ravenous and then Sterak's or Hydra, then Divine, Sunderer, Triforce, and then Sterak's. And after you got these three as your core, that's when you can look to go for Garg, right? Because of how effective it is. Certain games, you could even get rid of the Ravenous Hydra, skip it, just go Triforce, Sterak's into Gargoyle straight away. This is when you need to be really tanky, right? Very situational. But the idea with Gargoyle is that you're buying this when you need extra sturdiness. When you're too squishy and you die too fast, it's just such an effective item. So, main 2 points, like I said, rush Hydra into games where you're doing really well. You need the extra sustain, or you want more burst, which is pretty much every game. And go Gargoyle as a 4th, 5th item. Super effective, super strong, makes you super tanky. But yeah, I have nothing else. So, like I said, the build stays relatively the same. Just those 2 items, like I said. Those 2 items are really underappreciated.